Good day, everyone. Today, we will be discussing about philosophy of education and the 7 philosophies of education. But first, let us define the meaning of philosophy and education. Today, let us see the introduction to philosophy and education. Let us know the etymological meaning of philosophy. So the word philosophy is made up of two Greek words, philo and sophos. Philo means love, and sophos means wisdom, as you can see in the picture. Then, the term philosophy means love of wisdom. So now let us know what is philosophy. So philosophy is the study which deals with the ultimate realities of the universe and the general causes and principles of those things that man observes and experiences. Let us know the etymological meaning of education. So the term education is derived from Latin words educare, educere, educatum, and educo. So first, educare is to bring up or to nourish, educere to lead out or to draw out, educatum the act of training or teaching, and educo out of, duco to lead or to lead out. Now let us know what is education. So, education is the process of facilitating learning or the acquisition of knowledge, skills, values, beliefs, and habits. So, the word education is like diamond, which appears to be of different color when seen from different angles. Now let us know what is constructivism in education. So constructivism in education, it is important to understand how teachers can apply constructivism inside their classroom to create a unique learning environment for students. In constructivist classroom, the teacher has a role to create and collaborative environment where students are actively involved in their own learning process. Teachers are more viewed as facilitators of learning than actual instructors. That is why teacher must work to understand the pre-existing conception and understanding of student, and then work to incorporate knowledge within those areas. In constructivist classroom, teachers will also need to adjust their teaching and to match and the learner's level of understanding. The constructivist classroom relies mainly on 4 key areas for it to be successful. First, shared knowledge between teachers and students. Second, shared authority between teachers and students. Third, teachers act as a guide or facilitator. And fourth, learning groups consist of small numbers of students. Constructivist classrooms are often very different from normal classrooms in many ways. This is because focused on student questions and interest. Here are constructivist classroom. Builds on what students already know and focuses on interactive learning. Constructivist classroom is also student-centered. Teachers have a dialogue with students to help them construct their own knowledge. Constructivist classroom therefore often have teachers who do small group works, collaborative and interactive activities, openly dialogues about what students need in order to find success. As we can see, and as constructivist classroom, teachers create a situation in where the student will question their own and each other's assumption. In a similar way, a constructivist teacher creates a situation in which he or she is able to challenge the assumptions upon which traditional teaching and learning are based. Educational theories believe that that is the constructivist level of knowing and thinking. Students continually reevaluate their assumptions about knowledge. Their attitude towards the expert is transformed. Students are not troubled by ambiguity but are enticed by complexity. Students take on a never-ending quiz for truth and learning, where truth is seen as a process of construction in which the knower participates. For this reason, a constructivist teacher's perception of expertise in the classroom is based on the experience of his or her students' interaction with each other. Some education scholars believe that holding a constructivist view of knowledge enables a teacher to explore and form new ideas about teaching and learning. The explanation why in a constructivist classroom teachers are viewed as individuals who are often drawn into teaching by a love of kids. Essentialism. Essentialism is a belief that something is necessary. What is philosophy of essentialism in education? So philosophy essentialism is an American philosophy of education which began in the 1930s and 1940s. The two origins of essentialism is from idealism and realism. Essentialist refers to basic education. Essentialist belief in teaching the basic subject. Essentialism tries to instill all students with the most basic knowledge, skills, and character development. Essentialist believe that students should be taught to be a model citizen. Essentialist believe that teachers should teach traditional moral values and virtues. Essentialists believe in mastery learning. Purpose of schooling: prepare students to be productive, contributing members of society. For essentialists, the aim of students' education is to teach the young the essentials they need to live well in the modern world. Essentialists teach the basic subjects. Curriculum of essentialism: mathematics, literature, natural science, foreign language, and history. Teacher's role: essentialism as a teacher-centered philosophy. The teacher teaches discipline and hard work. The teacher is an expert of content knowledge. The teacher is accountable for student learning. Teacher's role as an expert: impart essential knowledge, direct focused task. Teaching strategies: use instructional strategies, lecture, memorization, homework, teacher and subject-centered mastery learning. of the student. Students should be passive and be ready to learn what the teacher presents to them. Listen and learn. Trust that the teacher knows best. Curriculum. Strong emphasis on basic skills in elementary school and on discipline knowledge and scholastic achievement in secondary schools. There should be a common core curriculum that is taught to all students. Essentialists believe that the course knowledge could change. Reasons why we need essentialism in the educational system. For the student to acquire basic knowledge, skills, and values, to hopefully transmit the traditional moral values and intellectual knowledge that students need to become model citizens. Criticism of essentialism in education. Positive, negative. Stability of education. Negative, students take more on the passive role in their education.
Good day, each everyone. By the way, my name is William. I am based for major and for my staff is to all of you is all about progressivism, perennialism, and existentialism. First, I will discuss the progressivism. Progressivism is a political and social philosophy that advocates for social, economic, and political reforms to address issues and promote equality, justice, and individual freedoms. Why teach progressivism? Teaching progressivism emphasizes active learning like hands-on experiences, critical thinking, and problem-solving skills. It promotes a student-centered approach that focuses on individual needs and interests to the students and encourages them to take an active role in their own education. Teaching progressivism. It promotes critical thinking and creativity. What to teach progressivism? In progressivist approach to teaching, the focus is on engaging students in relevant and meaningful learning experiences. Progressivist educators emphasize the exploration of real-world issues and problem-solving. The goal is to create a dynamic and engaging learning experience that promotes critical thinking and active participation in the learning process. How to teach progressivism? To effectively teach progressivism, education can employ the various strategies and approaches that align with its student-centered philosophy, adapting instructional practices to meet the unique needs and interests of students. It requires flexibility, responsiveness, and a commitment to creating engaging and meaningful learning experiences that empower students to become active participants in their own education. Second, perennialism is an educational philosophy that emphasizes teaching enduring principles and ideas that have persisted throughout history. Why teach perennialism? The aim of teaching perennialism is to provide students with a solid foundation of knowledge and moral values that are enduring and relevant across different cultures and generations. What to teach perennialism? In perennialism, the focus is on teaching concepts and principles that have remained constant throughout human history. How to teach perennialism? It is taught because it emphasizes the significance of teaching ideas and principles that have withstood the test of time. These enduring ideas are relevant and valuable for individuals to develop their intellectual and moral and qualities. Third is existentialism. Existentialism is a philosophical movement that explores questions regarding the meaning, purpose, and value of human existence. It emphasizes individual freedom, responsibility, and the significance of personal choice in shaping one's own life. Why to teach existentialism? Existentialism is taught in education because it promotes the development of individuals' unique qualities, self-awareness, and personal meaning-making. It emphasizes the exploration of values, choices, and the subjective experience of existence. What to teach existentialism? Teaching existentialism involves creating a safe and supportive environment where students feel comfortable exploring these profound questions and engaging in self-reflection. How to teach existentialism? Teaching existentialism involves creating opportunities for the students deeply reflect in their lives, values, and choices. It is about empowering students to find on their own meaning and purpose in life while embracing their individuality and freedom.
So now let's talk about behaviorism. Why do we teach behaviorism? Behaviorist schools are concerned with the modification and shaping of students' behavior by providing a favorable environment since they believe that they are a product of their environment. For example, in a classroom where we can find a diverse culture, and which means there are also diverse attitudes and behaviors of our learners. So the teacher may look after of this behavior and evaluate such behavior in order for the teacher to modify and shape their behavior. For how to teach behaviorism. Behaviorist teachers ought to arrange environmental conditions so that students can make responses to the stimuli. Some examples of these stimuli are lights, the sights, the temperature, the changes in the environment. For example, the school bell. The students learn to associate the sound of the bell. So with the sound of the bell, the students learn that there will be a changing activities. So as soon as the bell rings, the students automatically stops one task and then start to another task. So this is an example of a stimulus control. Teachers ought to make the stimuli clear and interesting to capture and hold the learner's attention. They ought to provide appropriate incentives to reinforce positive responses and weaken or eliminate negative ones. Trespasses, 1995. So this may serve as a training to the learners as to get the positive responses and to eliminate the negative. Under the linguistic philosophy, what to teach? Learners should be taught to communicate clearly, how to send clear, concise messages, and how to receive and correctly understand the message sent. So, communication takes place in three ways. We have the We have the number one component, which is the verbal component, which refers to the content of our message and choice and arrangement of our words, so this can be oral or written. So we have four types of verbal communication. The first is interpersonal communication. This takes place when two or more people are communicating to each other. So this can happen with your friend when you are talking to your friends or meeting or even meeting a new friends. The second one is the intrapersonal communication. This occurs internally, which one is self-reflecting or having a self-talk. And the third one is the small group communication. This communication can happen when there are two or more people having communication or interacting with each other, which focuses on accomplishing a desired task or a goal. And the last one, we have the public communication. So this communication usually takes place when one person talks to many people or one person talking in a crowd. So the second way of communicating is the verbal component. So this refers to the message we send through our body language. So the examples of communication, non-verbal communication, we have our body movements, our gestures, especially our sign languages or hand gestures. We have the eye contact and spaces, etc. So we have the last one component of communication is the paraverbal component, which refers to how we say what we say. So this is the pitch, the tone, the pacing, and the volume of our voices. So this is how we express ourselves verbally, whether we appear happy, upset, frustrated, confident or not. This is not about what we say, but it is about how we express our words towards others. So it could be our voices could be slower or faster, or it can be louder or softer. It can be dramatic or emotional. So in short, this is our voice. This is about our voice modulation. So without this voice modulation, our delivery of our messages may appear some like what we call the monotone. So there is the need to caution the learners of the verbal and non-verbal barriers to communication. Knowing the barriers of communication, we can evaluate, we can reflect on these barriers to improve our communications towards others and to have an effective communicating. So teach the learners as many languages as you can. So the more languages one speaks, the better he or she can communicate with the world. So how to teach under this linguistic philosophy? The most effective way to teach language and communication is the experiential way. So make the learners experience sending and receiving messages through verbal, nonverbal, and paraverbal manners. With the use of these components, we can achieve an effective way of communicating, effective way of teaching language, and to have a good communication skills. The teacher may facilitate a classroom for sharing of ideas and opinions inside the classroom, or it can be in the form of a group dialogues so that there is an exchange of words as well as exchanging of ideas.